Yo, what is going on, guys? This is your boy TrevCL, and we are here with yet another week of the NPL. This week we take on Monotooi and his Tampa Bay Luxrays. Now, you should know who Mono is. Obviously a coach in the GBA, a pretty good friend of mine as well. So this is actually the first time we're actually ever getting to play him in league format, which is really exciting because we've known each other for it's got to be almost 2 years now, maybe not quite that long, but yeah, it's been a while since we've known each other, yeah, we haven't gotten to play yet, but finally we are getting to play, and we're both pretty excited about that, as you know, playing somebody new, especially a friend, for the first time is always exciting. But last week we came off with a loss against Jolt in his Toronto Star Raptors. We weren't able to break the streak, unfortunately. 3 straight times now, Season 3, Season 5, and Season 7, that he's beaten me in Week 1. But, Season 3 was a pretty good season. We went undefeated after that and won the championship. Season 5 was a pretty decent season as well. Not quite as good as Season 3, but let's hope that we can kind of repeat a Season 3 type deal, and at least make playoffs, maybe win a playoff game for the first time since Season 4. That'd be nice. But enough rambling from me. Let's go ahead and get right into the teams. So as you can see, I'm bringing a Tapu Fini, Uxie, Gallade, Mega Gallade, Nidoqueen, Weavile, and Silvally. Here my whole team is going to pop up on the screen right about now. And then Mono's team is going to pop up now as well. And as you can see, his team, let me sorry about that, guys. Yep, I'm just making sure. Yep, there we go. I got it. Mega Lopunny, Toxapex, Tyranitar, Gliscor, Ferrothorn, Mimikyu, Reuniclus, Haxorus, Sandslash, Scyther, and Manectric. So definitely a terrifying team, for certain, as Megalop is always a scary Pokemon to play. Toxapex can potentially wall a decent amount of my team. And then, as Jolt showed last week, ground spam is pretty good against my team, considering my only resisted / immunities are Uxie, and then either a grass, bug, or flying Silvally. So I've got to watch out for the Sandslash and the Gliscor. Honestly, I could see him bringing both, so I'll go over what I have planned for that in a second. But first, let's go over the Tapu Fini. This Tapu Fini is meant to trap the Toxapex, because you may see that I have like a Mega Gallade, a Nidoqueen, and you're like, oh, why would you fear Toxapex that much that you need to trap it? Well, my Mega Gallade actually cannot trap it. Or not trap it. It cannot touch it, really, as I'm not running coverage for it, because I'm planning on it either not coming or Fini to trap it. While, Toxapex can wall a decent portion of my team, like Weavile, my Silvally, let me see, there's a couple of, like, Doublade. I do have other stuff like Xurkitree, Mega Gallade, Nidoqueen that could scare it off, so I could see him either bringing it or not bringing it. Like, it's about 50-50 whether he brings that. So yeah, and originally my Nidoqueen actually also didn't have coverage for Toxapex, really, but I changed that up, and we'll go over that in a second. But yeah, the speed allows me to outspeed a standard speed Gliscor, which I believe is like 72 speed. That makes it hit 244. The rest in defense, so that I can take a 2 returns from Lock without rocks, and just a calm nature, because 130 Spadef, it's its highest stat, so might as well put it into Spadef. Help me take Sludge Bombs a little bit better from Toxapex, if need be, as now I don't think I even get 3 KO'd by Toxapex, which is really nice, so yeah, that's the Fini. Fini's just really nice in general against his team. Next we have the Uxie, which is my rocker, and if you notice something about his team, like, he has a Reuniclus, he has a Manectric, But other than that, his entire team basically is centered towards physical offense with Lop, Tyranitar, Mimikyu, Haxorus. Like, just look at all those things he has that are physical, and those are some of the biggest threats to my team. So I am carrying Reflect because Reflect allows me to better check the it allows me to better check the Mega Lop. It allows me to better check the Haxorus. And yeah, basically his entire team is physical, and I do kind of expect him to bring Reuniclus. But honestly, that he probably won't bring Manectric against my team because I have a Nidoqueen. So yeah, honestly, Reuniclus might be his only special attacker he brings, and in that case, then that's going to be really, really good for me. I can basically just neuter 5-6 of his team just with one move, which is really nice. Toxapex could come, and Toxapex really doesn't care about attacking moves anyway, but if it does, it'd probably be like special with Scald and Sludge Wave anyway, so this is like not too big of a deal Toxapex wise. But yeah, this allows me to take this gives me enough speed to outspeed a standard Gliscor. Also, the speed is mainly for the Tyranitar on Finny and Uxie. I forgot to mention that, as I can outspeed Jolly Max Speed T-Tar with this and with the Finny, so that's also really nice. Yeah, so going on to my next Pokemon, we have a Mega Gallade with knockoff, bulk up, drain punch, and ice punch. This is a huge threat to his team. He can't check me with Lop faking it out until I get into low enough range. And even if I didn't have Inner Focus, I could obviously just drain punch my way back up. But yeah, this huge threat outspeeds almost his entire team. Just Lop and then other Scarfers are the only thing that outspeeds this one. Yeah, it's a huge threat. It's my biggest threat to him. He does have the Pex, which actually completely walls this, ironically, but again, if I can trap it, then we are golden to kind of just sweep with Gallade. Also might need to break the Mimikyu's disguise. That would be really good too. So break the Mimikyu's disguise, and either he doesn't bring Toxapex or I trap it and kill it, and Gallade just kind of wins. So that is the game plan. Next we have Nidoqueen, which is actually a 4-attack Life Orb set. Enough speed to, again, outspeed Jolly Tyranitar. Just because I honestly think he could bring a Jolly Tyranitar to outspeed like my Finny, my Uxie, my Nidoqueen. So that's why I'm speed creeping it so heavily. I believe even my Savali is creeping it, but we'll get to that in a second. So this coverage allows me to hit his entire team, I believe, for super effective damage, if not most. Like, yeah, I actually think I hit his entire team super effectively. That's kind of crazy. But Shadow Ball is mainly there for the Reuniclus, Earth Power is there for stab, and then Flamethrower, Ice Beam allow me to hit like his Gliscor with Ice Beam, his Ferrothorn with Flamethrower, stuff like that. So, yep, Nidoqueen's just a big threat. So you may have noticed at the beginning of the Team Builder I said that Nidoqueen was originally walled by Toxapex. It was originally a Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Crunch, Toxic Spikes variant, but then not only could I not do very much damage to T-Tar or Lop, I also got walled by Toxapex, so I wanted to make sure that I had at least one other thing besides Finny. Like, I didn't have to rely on Finny to trap to, like, not lose the Toxapex, so that's why I made this Earth Power. I could have also tacked on EQ, but the fact that I could get burned, plus I think if he brings Toxapex, it would be Fizz Def for, like, the Weavile in this matchup anyway. So Earth Power would be doing a lot more, so I don't just straight up lose to Toxapex if he brings it, and I can't trap it with Finny, so that's always good. And the loss of T-Spikes might hurt, especially if he doesn't even bring Pex or if I can trap it, but I think I can live without them. Next we have a Life Orb Weavile with Beat Up, Ice Shard, Icicle Crash, and Brick Break. So basically what this Beat Up is for, and you might notice I'm not carrying Knockoff at all, just because I didn't have room. I needed Brick Break for the T-Tar. I needed Ice Shard for like Scarf Haxorus and Lop. Icicle Crash hit his entire team really hard. And Beat Up is for a Cobra Berry Reuniclus. If he's like Fizz Def Cobra Berry, I potentially can kill him if he's like regen and I can get a rock switching on him. Just depends on what. I'm not sure how the mechanics of Beat Up work entirely, so I don't know if it's like it goes in order. Like, I know my beat up is around high 80 base power, but I don't know if it would be my Finny's attacking power hidden at first, or if it's just random. If it is my Finny's attacking power hidden at first, that'd be great, because Finny, I believe, other than Uxie, is my weakest Pokemon base attack wise, so that would be good. So it should be doing around 80-ish% to Reuniclus. I think it actually has a chance to kill, depending on how fat he is. Beat up can also kill the Mimikyu, possibly. It depends on what rolls I get with some of this stuff, and what hits the disguise first. But yeah, I can potentially OHKO Mimikyu through disguise. I can potentially OHKO Reuniclus through Colbur Berry. Really sweet. I'm probably not going to click beat up unless the Ferrothorn is dead, though, because I do not want to be taking 72% with Iron Barbs, and then 82% with Life Orb, and possibly also taking Rocky Helmet, which would just kill me after like 3 hits, or four hits. So definitely don't want to be doing that. So I would probably wait until Ferrothorn was either dead, or if it wasn't brought, then yeah, unless I really had to click beat up in a situation. And then finally, you remember how I was talking about how I just kind of lost to ground types. So I have my ground check right here in the form of Silvally Grass. So it doesn't have recovery, which is a little bit concerning, especially if he brings both his ground types and I'm forced to check them both. But I think it'll work out fine. So again, enough speed to outspeed Jolly, T-Tar. Its speed tie is standard Gliscor, so if he brings standard Gliscor, oh well. I just kind of decided I needed the absolute most bulk I could get. Yeah. So multi-attack hits like T-Tar. It hits his what else did it hit? It hits something else. I mean, it hits his lot for neutral damage. That's why I'm not Bug, because he could also have like rock coverage and stuff. So yeah, and then Ice Beam for a Gliscor, and then Flamethrower for Ferrothorn, and then Pardon Shot is just really useful in this matchup for momentum. So yeah, that is the team. I'm feeling pretty great about this team. I don't lose to ground types, so even if he brings like a Sand Rush, Sand Slash, then I don't think I will lose to it unless I let my ground checks get weakened. But I have to watch out for that, and I also don't want to lose to Gliscor either. So if he brings double ground, then that's a little tough, but I think I can still play around it. But other than that, that's all I have to say for the team builder section. Let's go ahead and get right into the battle. And here we are, guys, with the battle. So as you can see, Mono brought a team of T-Tar, Reuniclus, Megalop, Haxorus, Ferrothorn, and the Sand Slash. So luckily he did not bring both of his ground types, because that would have put a really big pressure on Silvally to wall that. So very nice. But looking at his team, I feel like he's either going to lead with the Ferrothorn, the Reuniclus, or the T-Tar. So I think my best lead right here is the Silvally, as I can Parting Shot on the Reuniclus, multi-attack the T-Tar, and Flamethrower the Ferrothorn. And also looking at this game, he did not bring the Toxapex, which means Gallade just absolutely dunks on him. Because if you remember from the team building section, I have a Gallade set that kind of gets walled by Pex, but I don't. So now Finny can be used to trap the Reuniclus, so that is great. So yep, I'm just going to lead with my Silvally, as he does lead with the Ferrothorn, so I will just go for the Flamethrower here, as he actually goes into the T-Tar right here. And this Flamethrower bounces off, like, does absolutely not, like, I know I'm not any investment, but like that still does nothing. So I'm a little bit suspicious of the T-Tar. So right here he goes in the Reuniclus as I Parting Shot, and here's where I have the opportunity to just kill this Reuniclus right here. If he stays in, as I go for the Whirlpool, and he just goes for the Side Shock, and now this Reuniclus is trapped. I can't just stall it down with Whirlpool. I have to actually Nature's Madness here, and then I do have to kill it with a couple Moonblast, as Magic Guard prevents Whirlpool from doing damage. So I'm going to taunt here just in case he wants to recover. As he goes for another side shock. And luckily there the sand ends, so I will get a little bit of recovery back as I crit, which the crit didn't really matter at all. So luckily my Finny is quite weakened, but at the same time it's still at about half health after it gets these leftovers back, so it can still possibly take a return from a Megalop if I need to. So I'm just going to go straight into Uxie right here as he Mega Evolves, and I believe goes for the Fake Out, which is really nice, so that's Rocky Helmet damage. And right here, I believe I go for the Rocks? I go for the Reflect, okay, I go for the Reflect, and then right here, I believe I go for the U-Turn, because I want to keep this Uxie healthy, because it is my Mega Lopcheck, and luckily he either doesn't have Pursuit there, or he just didn't Pursuit there. He goes for the Crunch. And that does quite a bit. I'm going to go for the Earth Power, and even though I'm Modest Life Orb, because this T-Tar is in sand, it actually turns out to be Assault Vest as well. It just eats that up. So right here, I'm going to go for another Earth Power, and right here, I really wanted to click Ice Beam because I felt like that switch into Haxorus was obvious. I maybe even should have clicked Earth Power because that still would have done 40 to the Ferrothorn, and still wouldn't have killed the Haxorus, but it would have done a ton. But I had, if this was on Wi-Fi, I would have clicked Ice Beam. But I canceled, and then I clicked Flamethrower, and unfortunately he did go into Haxorus. And as you can see, that Flamethrower does almost a third, so that means Ice Beam would have definitely killed, I'm pretty sure. As right here my play is just to sack Nidoqueen, as, you know, it's done its job. It weakened T-Tar, weakened Ferrothorn, got a little bit of damage on the Haxorus. So right here, I believe I'm going to go for the Icicle Crash. I don't know whether he's Scarfed or not yet. I'm assuming he might be Scarfed, but it's not like confirmed at this point. So I'm just gonna go for the Ice Shard on the Sand Slash, as if he set up an SD, that was my best play. I didn't want to lose to SD Sand Slash, so I'm gonna go into Savali here because this is what it's meant to do. As he goes for a Poison Jab, and it does about half, but that's fine because Savali's gonna pick up the kill. So. Savali proving its worth here with, you know, weakening the Reuniclus with the Parting Shot, and then killing the Sand Slash. So right here I'm going to stay in because I know I can actually take a return. He surprised me a bit by going for the Fake Out, but I guess he knew I would not go into the Uxie. So right here he reveals Drain Punch. I definitely could have lived the return, or I think it was a roll to live the return with my Savali, but in my favor. So right here, he's going to go for the return, right? Take Rocky Helmet damage. I'm going to set up a Reflect, as I'm actually going to Psychic here. So that means he does not have the Encore, which is really nice. And I felt like making a prediction here, but I decided Psychic was just my best play. As I'm going to go into my Mega Gallade because I see a possible opportunity to just end the game. So I'm going to set up a Bulk Up right here, as with the Reflect and the Bulk Up, this Power Whip is actually going to do not very much at all. And as long as he doesn't crit me here, then I can get up a second Bulk Up for free, as I was really fearing the Chople Berry, and at +2, whether he's max defense Chople Berry or not, it doesn't matter because I'll be able to kill. As he turns out to be actually Rocky Helmet. And right here, I'm just going to pause because this play is crucial, because if he crits me, there's a good chance I lose this game. I can possibly still win it, but there's no guarantee at all that I win this game. However, if I don't get crit, I will Drain Punch the Lop, and then I definitely win because he can't lock himself into any one move that will kill my entire team, because Outrage could possibly kill my Gallade, depending on how much this return does, but I don't think so. If he goes for Earthquake, then he doesn't kill my Gallade. If he goes for any of his Dragon moves, I have a Finny, and if he goes for Poison Jab, the only way he could really win is if he went for, I believe, Earthquake, got a crit on the Gallade, and then got a crit on the Uxie, or killed the Uxie. But even then, I don't know, I'm pretty sure, like, his only way of winning was critting right here, and as you can see, we eat up the return, and then we go for the Drain Punch, kill it off, and actually right here, if he's jolly, which he turns out to be, he actually can't kill me with an outrage because Mega Gallade is a fat Pokemon. So he just goes for the poison jab, and that doesn't kill, obviously, because Mega Gallade's fat +2, and we win the game 3-0. So very good game, pretty much a completely clean game. Sorry for the blah, blah there, the stuttering, but yeah, a completely clean game. You can say, I mean, you know, technically there was a crit on the Reuniclus, but the crit did not matter like at all. So yep, a completely clean game, which is very nice to have. Win or lose, all I usually ask for is a clean game, and that's what we got. And we got a 3-0 win over Mono. So first time we played Mono, and we picked up a win. So that's a very nice way to start off our, you know, career against Mono with a win. And that moves us to 1-1 with a +1 differential. So we're back in the positive differential wise, and we have one more win than we did through 2 weeks last season. So always a good thing. As we started 0-2 last season, we misplayed a lot in those first 2 weeks, but we came back, played a decently good week 1, but I misplayed with Gallade, and here we pretty much followed our game plan perfectly, and I was able to pick up the win in the way I was planning to, with sweeping with Mega Gallade. So yep, GG Mono. His team is definitely a spooky team. Only problem is it's definitely weak to reflect, as he only has like 2 good special attackers on his team, and even then, like, Manastrix, like, so really only 1 true threat as a special attacker. So that was a little bit of weakness with Mono, and I was able to exploit it with the Reflect Uxie and a couple of Fizdef Mons. So yep, but other than that, we play our good pal Riz next week, and it's kind of funny because we actually play him in UBC as well. So hopefully we can pick up a win in both of those, because right now 0-2 in UBC. So picking up a win against Riz there would be nice, and then moving to over 500 through the first 3 weeks this season would also be spectacular. Because again, last season we started 0-2, and through 3 weeks we were 1-2. So yeah, starting off with a 2-1 record would be great. So we're gonna aim for that next week. Riz is definitely gonna be a tough opponent though. So yeah. No guarantee that we can beat him. But other than that, I've been rambling on for long enough. This has been your boy TrevCL, and I am signing out. Peace, guys.